got some data. AI generated content can now pass as a human written 54% of the time in blind tests.
Okay.
So if you're saying that's a human and you're average at picking this, maybe you're better.
I think I'm better than
still,
average.
It's still
fair.
about half the time it's a bot.
Start it up. Let's get it rolling. Big ideas, money folding. Hustle smart, dream so wild. Turn that grind into a joyride.
All right. So in this episode, we're talking about bots on social media.
Yeah. Well, there's two kinds of. I think I'm going to run with the context here.
Okay.
Do you want to do it? Is it going to hurt if you can't go?
I tried to come up with like a funny segue into this episode.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do you want? Yeah. There's a lot of pressure.
Now that we're loaded up, let's hear it, bud.
Okay. All right. What I was thinking about is, you know how I haven't seen one of these in a long time. You remember the CAPTCHA things, like the "I'm not a robot."
ReCAPTCHA,
yeah. So has AI figured that out? They're just using.
Yeah, they're clicking the.
I think they're gone.
Did you ever see? Have you ever? Oh, that's interesting. That's weird.
Are they gone? Because I have not seen one of those in a while.
I've seen them on TikTok. Yeah,
have you?
Yeah. But have you ever seen the video that's a robotic arm that goes over and moves a mouse, and moves it, and then clicks it, and then it says, "I'm not a robot," but it was a robot. Anyways,
actually, there's a bank here in Canada that's got a really funny commercial where their like whole thing is like the banks always make you jump through hoops, and one of the like little scenes of the guy, he like actually jumps through physical hoops and stuff like that. Yeah. But one of them is a scene where it's a CAPTCHA, okay, and it's like pick all the hoops, and every time he clicks one of the squares to identify the hoops, he gets another hoop that he has to.
Sounds about right. Not a big fan of the Banksy Canada. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways,
that was my like funny segue. Was like, hey,
that was it.
Did CAPTCHA go away because bots have now figured out how to not look like robots, and they're useless anyway?
Well, and if people don't know the context for this episode, I don't know if that would land so well, but I think it's a very good first try.
Okay. Should we also set the table here with like, because we're doing a lot of social media, we're doing a lot of stuff on social media, and I'm pretty convinced there's a lot of bots.
Oh, it's all
there.
Bots. Like there's so many bots.
Okay, so I'm a little bit
but like bots both for good and for evil. There's like bots that are just on there doing whatever, trying to boost fake accounts.
Yeah.
And then there's other bots that are like people with their own LinkedIn accounts using bots to post on other, like bot generated comments, but through their account to post on other accounts and to generate their posts.
Right.
So it's all this like, I don't think either is good because nobody's actually interacting anymore.
So I have a little bit of data. So studies estimate that 40 to 60% of internet traffic is now bot generated, up from 25% in 2012.
60% on the high end?
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
That doesn't. What?
I'm actually not surprised.
What are we talking about? Internet traffic? Like everything on the internet.
So
like API calls to Facebook posts from grandma to... So you know what I mean?
Can I put something out there? Because as you know, we've done some advertising for podcasts and books and things like that online. Do you know that advertising fraud from bot traffic is estimated to cost businesses over $100 billion annually?
Holy
so
shit.
So
you're saying you
take
have
your marketing budget and
pixie dust.
Because guess what? Bots don't have money and don't buy things.
Yeah. Wow, how are they going to get a handle on that? There's a lot of wealthy people that make a lot of money through those things that are going to have to get a handle on that.
Yeah,
because that's insane.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Wow, this comes back to, you know, the more this sounds crazy, but as time goes on, the platform I like the most is TikTok, and I can't believe I'm saying this because TikTok seems just. If you're a millennial, you look at TikTok and you look down your nose at it, and you're like, this isn't Facebook. It's absolutely reprehensible. I don't know whether like also we're Richard Nixon, but I think the reason why I like it is it's real people. There's actually the possibility to engage with real people that aren't in like your immediate network. Okay, so everything else, I think of like LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, and most of like your reach is very dependent on who follows you, and that's basically it, right? It's hard to get beyond that. It's not impossible, but it's like, you know, to go viral or whatever, it's very difficult. Whereas with TikTok, the algorithm there biases to new accounts to give them more reach. Okay. So you can actually reach people. And the other thing is, of all the stuff we do with Startup Different, we get the most comments on TikTok. We get tons. We had a couple of episodes where we had like 20 odd comments.
Okay.
Some of the stuff we did on Canada Post.
No way.
Yeah. So like,
okay.
I just think it's the best platform because there's people there.
Can I ask you a question though? Like, what insulates it? Like, are you suggesting there's fewer bots on TikTok?
No, I don't know. I just know that these. So you know how you can kind of like, we're good enough at AI now to be able to see AI content for the most part,
right?
Whether it's definitely with images or but with comments, there's something about this like consistency or this like authority with which it's written. I don't know, like I don't know how to describe this, but I can see it. Okay. Yeah. And on TikTok, those comments are people because they're like shitty. They're like sloppy a little bit. There's like grammar's kind of funny.
You can just tell your AI, model, like instruct your AI model to like, hey, write like really crappy. Don't capitalize anything. Just
okay. I'm not, I don't know how to tell you this other than it's this randomization that makes it feel uniquely human. Okay. And I just don't, I don't have data. You're right. But at the same time, are there bots on TikTok? Yes. Okay. But I'm not saying that, but I just feel like there is the possibility of real interaction, which I find it's a lot less likely on these other platforms.
So on that, I got some data. AI generated content can now pass as a human written 54% of the time in blind tests. Okay. So if you're saying that's a human and you're average at picking this, maybe you're better.
I think I'm better than average.
It's still about half the time it's a bot.
Interesting.
So
I don't know. I don't. I consider myself above average in just about everything I do. And so this would be another one of those things.
Especially humility.
Very and competitiveness. Average. I'm the least competitive. Anyway. All right.
Sweet. Okay. So can I fire a couple of questions at you on this topic? So we always kind of suspected that there were bots on social media, as we've exhaustively mentioned. But now with advanced AI, how do we tell what's real anymore? And maybe, does it even matter?
Yes.
So if you see content online on social media, and it's not real, it's AI generated, it's generated something, it's a video, whatever. Does it matter?
Classic answer coming up. It depends. Because, no, there's shades of gray here. So,
okay.
Does it matter that somebody has deep faked the president of the United States into saying something they wouldn't say?
Geez, I saw a commercial where they had Trump's voice that was AI generated, and it said at the bottom, endorsed by Trump and used with his consent or something like that. Like, this is an AI generated, video with Trump, and he consents and he's good with this. Like,
well, he'll do anything for money, but that's not what we're getting at right now.
Anyways,
but my point, so when I was talking about it depends, is like, if it's something that has like an impact, which again, like for some reason, a lot of U.S. foreign policy is currently derived through Truth Social and some of these things.
It's like that one account.
Just versus, it's the only guy there.
Nobody else uses
That's all bots there.
It's wild how you'll see Trump will post something on Truth Social, but like all of his cabinet and all that stuff just post on X. Yeah. They don't even use it themselves.
So, but then on the flip side, if it's like, so what you'll see a lot, and I don't think people realize this right now, and probably that comes back to your comment about 54% there, people can't identify if it's AI or not, or wrong or whatever. Like, a lot of user generated content now on all these platforms is actually AI generated. There's platforms SaaS platforms that you sign up for, you give them lots of images of your product. It takes your product and it has a talking face video of somebody interacting with your product, and they're actually pretty good.
So does it matter?
That I don't think matters.
That's just product.
What's the difference? You didn't know the person before, you don't know the person now.
If you had done it.
If it shows the product in a reliable way, in a way that's consistent with how it's used and is accurate and all that other stuff, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
If it's lying about it, if it's doing something fraudulent, like, okay, that's an issue.
Should those be labeled like AI generated?
I think so.
Like
I don't think there's any harm in an AI label.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any harm in that.
And I guess the pre-AI, pre-generative AI, that could have been done just in a more time-consuming way.
Yeah.
With like CGI.
Very costly.
Whatever.
It's a disruption to that market for certain influencers, and I think also for actors.
Right.
Who are doing some of those commercials and some of those things.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say all this traffic is AI
It's
on
a
the
pretty
internet.
big, yeah.
If you're using, like, you ran a sales department,
yeah,
and you're trying to generate new leads and things like that, and you've got a Shark Tank of sales reps working trying to find leads. How do you know they're not just talking to bots out there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is, well, in B2B, it's a little bit easier anyway.
Yeah.
So I definitely, the fraud case or like fraudulent bot behavior on ads is super problematic.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see how for a consumer company that could just explode your costs, or your ROAS, your return on ad spend would drop drastically,
Right.
because all of a sudden you're getting all these impressions that don't buy.
Oh,
But
it
for
sucks so much. Like, people are like, you have your sales staff like, oh, I got all these leads. You're thinking,
hang on, those are two different things though.
No?
So I would suggest that in B2B, you very quickly get to a person.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, because after we qualified a lead, so somebody talks to somebody, or like in an email, or they say they're interested or whatever, one of the first things we do is we pick up the phone and call them. And that's to ascertain their seriousness. And sometimes there's something about like a sales velocity thing where if you get to them quickly, they tend to be, in that moment, they wanted information. So if you get them information in that moment, they'll like it more.
Strike while the iron is hot, right? So yeah.
So I think like in B2B, it might be less of an issue because you can validate them, but there'll still be times when you'll be talking to an AI agent, you weren't sure of it.
Yeah.
The other thing too that we haven't even really commented on here is even in those phone conversations, like there are AI voice agents that are pretty convincing.
Yeah.
So that might be challenging
Yeah.
as well.
Okay. Next question for you. Tell me about this.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you know the answer to this? Like, you know how, in like crime movies and stuff like that, people have to be like, they would say like, are you a cop? Because if you're a cop, you have to tell me. You ever heard that, like various movies and stuff? It's true.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe.
Right.
Sure.
Okay. So what about that with AI? So if I'm talking to an AI voice agent, can I say, are you an AI agent? And does it have to answer?
I actually did this with an order I placed online, and it only partially shipped. So I went and I said, hey, what's the story with this stuff? It was supposed to be here a long time ago. And I asked it that. I said,
what did it say?
By the way,
I guess
are you an AI agent? Or are you a real person?
Yeah.
And then because my initial email came back very fast.
Within 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then my reply, I said, by the way, are you AI? And then I could tell it took about 3 or 4 hours afterwards. And I could tell it was an actual person. There must be some cue in there where if they ask if you're AI, immediately switch it to,
or they escalate it. Like the AI tool escalates it to be like, uh-oh, I'm caught.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess
I think that would be an interesting safeguard though. If you were to like ask like in an interaction, and especially voice ones, are you AI? It has to, like by law, it has to say, yes, I am an AI.
I wonder if you could, like, if you send a message into customer support and you just say, by the way, please don't answer this with an AI agent. Please have a real person review this.
That's
I wonder if all of a sudden
that might be like a consumer rights thing at some point, right? Where you as a consumer have the right to be helped by a human. That's fascinating.
I feel like at some point though, I'll want the AI to do it, but I feel like right now the AI doesn't have the authority to do certain things.
Yeah.
Like
everybody's a little bit afraid of the
They're not going to let it, like, because I basically said, hey, if these things haven't shipped, then can I just cancel those items and get a refund? Okay.
That could have also been why it escalated, right?
Yeah. Could have.
You should have sent it like, maybe, why don't we send an email right now? It's probably a true classic or something. Send them an email right now. Their customer support would be like, hi, I have a question about this shirt. It'll get back to you and be like, hey, are you an AI?
I'm going to send a video to the CEI. Hey, Ryan, where's my quarter zip hoodie
shirt, man?
Yeah, because he sends me videos.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Friend of the pod.
I thought this was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So
if you don't have early funding, are you a real startup? Yeah. This and 33 other startup myths are busted in Startup Different. Find it on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle.
Next question for you. I'm just going to put this out there because I don't know anything about this. What's Molt Book?
Yeah. Okay. So Molt, there's two things happening.
What a terrible name, by the way.
Yeah.
Molt Book.
Yeah. Like go back to the drawing board. The committee that made that.
It's supposed to be like Facebook.
A horse. No, a cow is a horse by committee, right? And I feel like they got a committee together and they were like, oh, this is a great name. It's a terrible name. Anyway. So yeah, well, originally, so Molt Bot is the first thing I want to get to. So it's supposed to be one of these things that, and everybody's talking about it right now because it's one of those things that like automates all of your stuff. Like it actually is autonomous though.
Okay.
So it's just running on your computer and it does stuff with you. Remember
so
we talked
it's
about
like an agentic AI.
Yeah, exactly. Remember we talked about Goose a couple months ago?
Yeah.
The same idea, but this like is much more in prod. It's
Okay.
much more like more people are using it.
Okay.
Anyway, so all well and good. It makes mistakes and like kind of the things you would expect, whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's this thing called Molt book that came out a couple weeks ago, and or in January actually, and what it was is it's a social media network for AI agents.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Like why?
Why? Actually, that was my first reaction.
Like,
too.
am I buying?
So what?
Am I buying AI tokens so my AI agent can waste money?
That's true. I didn't even think about the cost. Yeah,
another
you're right. Yeah.
talking to another bot for what? Like,
so
it's got low self-esteem or something.
It's really, it's honestly like, hey, it's like Reddit. There's sub-molts. Okay, like it's like Reddit. Okay, so but it's all AI agents and humans can watch. So you can watch as a person. You can watch the comments going around. And so I went there. I'm like, oh, I'll watch for a minute. And I'm like, this is silly. There's a couple of things. There's a lot of concerns too that there are like humans actually in there, like trying to get them riled up a little bit. Yeah. So there's that thing. On both of them, there's security concerns.
Yeah.
Because they're acting autonomously and all this other stuff.
Right.
And then, but people are watching this going, wow, like they're having such deep thoughts about philosophy or about whatever. And it's like, A, we don't know if they're being drummed up by a person. B, it's this crazy like platform. And I'm just like, but why? Like, why do we even?
I'm not putting any AI agents.
But I just think it was kind of interesting
for into this.
It's kind of an interesting concept. I think it's like people are looking at it being like, it has deeper consciousness.
Yep.
But I think at the same time, I don't really think it's proof of anything. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to, it doesn't feel, it's not like some sort of like AGI thing or anything like that, but it is interesting to see, I guess, agents interacting.
Yeah.
Just something that.
But then again, like if you think about like some of the data we talked about on how many bots are out there,
you wouldn't know.
Like, what if that's just already happening on the regular social media networks?
Oh, true. Yeah. Like what's the difference?
So maybe,
I guess the difference here is it's overt. We know they're bots.
It's declared. But there it's, you know, covert. It's not obvious that it's covert, a bot. It looks like it's trying to be a human, even though
that's interesting.
I hate
maybe it's a much ado about nothing. Maybe it's one of those. Maybe it's just a marketing thing.
Yeah,
but it was kind of fascinating to see. But my initial thought was the same as you, though.
All right,
just why?
So going to the businessy side, entrepreneur, startup side, question on this. So what do you do from a founder's perspective when you're thinking about your social media marketing? Can you actually trust the metrics? Like you're spending all this money. Are you just advertising to bots?
You can trust the sales. I don't think, I do think you should be, you know, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but do you remember, let me tell you a story. Story time.
All right.
Do you remember College Humor? collegehumor.com?
Vaguely.
Okay, so like Will Ferrell started it with a couple of Love Life coders and stuff like that. Maybe some other people from SNL back in the day.
Okay.
And so they talked about how like they were doing really well. It was growing well. They were making these funny videos. That's all it was. It was like, this is in like the early days of YouTube. Like this is an old website. And then they started posting their videos on Facebook too. And they're getting, you know, like really good results on Facebook, like doing way better than their website.
Right.
So they actually decided, hey, we're just going to start posting all the content first on Facebook and then to our website later. So they're driving the traffic to Facebook instead of to their stuff, which I think was a bad call, but in general, but that's fine. But you know, hindsight is 2020. But what happened is they got these great looking stats and then, but the actual like engagement they were seeing wasn't consistent. Like it didn't make sense. They weren't seeing as many eyeballs, like as what Facebook was reporting wasn't consistent with like the results that they were getting. Like with the products that they sold in adjacency to these videos and stuff like that.
Weird. Okay.
And so it turns out eventually they found out years later that Facebook was just lying. It was just bullshit data. It was just crap.
God, really?
Yeah. So there's like a lot of, I'm very deeply skeptical of social media marketing on lots of different levels.
Yeah.
I definitely think it can work, obviously.
So it might be bots or it might just be the data.
It might just be
garbage.
Shit data. Yeah,
like
polluted data.
Just multiply that actual, you know, click rate by whatever to hit our quarterly. Is it that? Because that's like fraud, pretty. Like,
yeah, it's pretty close. No, they went to court. Like there was a whole thing. It wasn't just for College Humor. It was for basically everybody that was advertising on Facebook at the time. Yeah. So I just, for me, I remain deeply skeptical. I think if you're a business owner, you've got to go back to desperately tracking things as much as you can, and then seeing how whatever you're doing is translating to sales, to money in your pocket.
Okay.
And don't get caught up on vanity metrics around.
Yeah, that was actually
likes,
my number one takeaway
Yeah.
is stop optimizing for vanity metrics.
Yeah, don't optimize for likes. Like there's a lot of great books on e-commerce too, on like how to optimize your e-commerce page for basically like throughput to the sale.
Right.
That's what you want to focus on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The other thing too is I like an owned audience. You know, where
for
you
sure.
own the list, you own access to the list. So that's like,
I mean, if you sell on everything
else,
else, like if you sell on any marketplace, they own your list. The only marketplace you own is your website. That's the reality of it.
So one of the things that's kind of interesting, my last like takeaway on this is, AI detection is a competitive advantage. Okay. So if you're in a space where you are selling eyeballs, okay, and you can prove that it's not bots.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It's super valuable. Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think of like Spotify. It might be a good example because you have to own an account, right? Like you have to pay for it.
Yep.
So it wouldn't scale for a bot operator to start paying for all these. That's true. They're going to go elsewhere. They're going to go to somewhere where they don't have to
target.
Pay. Yeah. Right. So I feel like maybe some of this might be some of these networks, the way that they can, I don't know, keep the bots out is just put a price tag.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
So what if it, when this kind of happens, remember we always used to joke how it's like Twitter, but you pay for it. And then all of a sudden you had to pay for Twitter.
I mean,
you know,
like going back to Spotify for a second, you don't have to pay necessarily. There are free accounts. For
Spotify.
I
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Is there?
Sure. Wow. Look at you and your
what do you listen
tower.
to on Spotify for free?
You get, no, everything, but you get played ads. Whereas if you do Spotify Pro, you don't get ads.
Shucks.
Yeah. So you're just wrong there, bud.
So then,
but the spirit of what you're saying remains true.
Then you're not selling ads to the premium subscribers because they don't see ads. Right? So the ones that you've verified are probably not bots. Correct. Are the ones you're not advertising to.
Correct. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, go back to that. That might be the barrier that keeps a lot of the bots out is a dollar sign. You know, would you pay? And I know most people I know would say, nope. Not going to pay. Yeah. Like nobody wants to pay anything for anything, online, social media, that kind of stuff. So how do you create a barrier that keeps the bots out but lets the people in? I don't know.
$1 question, my friend.
Yeah. All right.
I think the price tag makes sense though. But
nobody gets on.
Like, chicken and the egg. Maybe introduce the price later. Like, I mean, Netflix you paid for right away. Like, there are platforms where this sort of thing can kind of work. But yeah. KYC. There you go.
Know your client?
Yeah. No, like yeah.
I know what's KYC.
We'll see.
I don't know what KYC is, other than I know like banks have to do that and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like there's a lot more there's like online verifications.
I get where Graham's going with this. I thought it was a thing. I thought there was like a social media platform called KYC.
Maybe there should be.
But,
no, but like online verification is becoming more.
It's like KFC with less chicken.
Oh, it's materially less chicken. All right. On that note, I think folks will see you next week. Hey.
Start it up. Let's get it rolling. Big ideas, money folding. Hustle smart, dream so wide. Turn that grind into a joyride.